Hey friends, in this video we're going to talk about Poshmark, what is going on with the fees. I'll clue you in and give you my thoughts, so stay tuned.
Let me set the scene. We hustle hard, stacking green, living out the dream. From clothes and kicks, we got that vintage flair. You name it, we got it. All the styles you want to wear. Started small, now we roll.
Hey friends, it is Stephanie with Three Queens Resell, and if you are new here, welcome, and if you are a reseller bestie, just check it in. Welcome. Thanks for joining, and thanks for your support. And I just wanted to come on and talk about the fee change. So, in fact, I had created a video talking about the fee change and how people were not happy with it. And Poshmark was already thinking about changing, and there was a backlash. And before I could get that video out, they reverted back to 20%. So, let's talk about it, friends. 2 weeks ago, 2 short weeks ago, Poshmark made the biggest change to their platform since its inception by moving away from the $20% flat fee to a tiered scale, which to me, I don't know why people are acting like it's so confusing. It's not algebra, friends. They gave us a chart. There was just three tiers, which $1, $2, or $3, and then a 5.9% on fee on the item. Now, for someone like me that sold bread and butter, that sells a lot of lower ticket items, bread and butter, the fee was actually working in my favor. I was making more items on each item per sale, and I would have been happy with it if the buyer wasn't also being charged the same fee. I didn't see where Poshmark would be able to survive. Poshmark is trying to dip on both sides. Whereas, like, if you look at Mercari and Depop, only the seller is paying fees, not, I'm sorry, only the buyer is paying fees, not the seller. And on eBay, only the seller is paying fees, not the buyer. Poshmark wanted everybody to pay fees, and that just was not going to be sustainable for the long haul. So they had to revert back because of seller backlash and buyer backlash and losing money because buyers were not buying. And if buyers aren't buying, you don't have a platform. I'm not going to continue to list there if buyers aren't going to buy my stuff, or I have to make up for this crazy fee that that the buyer is paying by lowering the price of my item. So, as of today, and it is Tuesday, October 22nd, we are back to 20%. I'm not sure if it reverted back today. Some people I actually noticed it this weekend that my sales have moved back to 20% fees, and also that I had lost my discounted shipping, which that is something I'm pissed about because Poshmark promised us in the change, people who were Posh affiliates, Posh ambassadors, got discounted shipping through the end of the year. Really, there was no need to take that perk back from us just because you changed the fees back. Just saying. And all of the confusion, you could have kept that there. But the fees have reverted back, and it seems like they're still going to work on something else. So, for as Poshmark, for Poshmark to be as big a company as it is, and to have so many sellers, it's the second largest reselling platform. To have so many sellers on the platform and to make this shit like mess with people's livelihood so haphazardly, um, it makes me wonder if anyone is like, if there's true conversation, if everybody is just like, yes, 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 yes to Manish, or if there's any pushback. at Posh Fest, he talked about lowering fees and how he wanted to find a balance between um, being generous and being greedy. Well, I don't think 20% is that sweet spot, Manish, if you're watching. But I do think that in lieu of all of the craziness, going back to 20% as we go into the holiday and into fourth quarter makes the most sense for all of us. Uh, the buyers, because they don't have to pay these crazy additional fees as we move into quarter four, and as the sellers who've been like stocking up and are looking for to end their year out with the best sales of the year. So, we're back to 20%. I have noticed, my observation is that our eBay is doing better than it ever has before in this past 2 weeks. And so, as a person who cross lists, because we all cross lists, because we all have all these platforms, it was actually really silly for Poshmark to do that. I'm like, because why would I pay a fee to buy it on Poshmark when I can go buy the same thing on eBay? Because everybody and their mother, there's like four people who don't cross list. Like, there's lots of eBay sellers that don't cross list to Poshmark, but there's really not that many Poshmark sellers who don't cross list to eBay. So why would Poshmark think that a buyer is going to pay that fee on Poshmark and not just go buy it, like search the same thing? You can literally, on my titles, because I've done it before, copy the title of my Poshmark listing, drop it in the Google search bar, and it will come up. That same listing will come up where the other places I have it listed, Poshmark, or it will come up on eBay, and sometimes it comes up on Mercari too, but it always comes up on eBay. So the buyer, instead of paying the fee, is just going to buy it from eBay. So it was not well thought out. All someone needs to do if they want to get this right is ask me. That's all you need to do. Because I can tell you, and there's probably lots of other resellers that can tell you what is going to work. Honestly, the discounted shipping pass, um, that should be a perk for Posh ambassadors. If they don't want to make it for Posh ambassadors because there's so many, and that's a status that you seem to really never lose, at least Posh 2 ambassadors. Like, that's just a perk for reaching that level and being a loyal seller. Just like on eBay, you get discounted seller fees the longer that you've been on the app, and once you get to top rated plus status. Poshmark doesn't really offer anything, any incentive like that to buyers. So excuse me, I keep mixing it up, to sellers. And so that could be a perk that kind of keeps people like active and engaged selling on the app and motivated. But those are my thoughts on the feed change. Let me know how the feed change impacted your sales
All the
over
styles
the
you wanna
past two
wear. Started
weeks and
small, now
many
we
close
roll.
out.
Watch the empire rise. Flipping churches, catching eyes. No surprise, we the prize. We got the deals that make you feel like royalty. Three queens on the ground, respect and loyalty. Three queens on the grind. Respect and loyalty. Yo, started small, now we ball, watch the empire rise. Flipping treasures, catching eyes, no surprise, we the prize. We got the deals that make you feel like royalty. Three queens on the ground, respect and loyalty.